Cost of living in the Philippines. Can you afford it? That's what we're going to talk about. Stick around. All right. Hey, what's up, YouTube friends? Been doing a little research, preparing for my next video about my next move in life, which I'm hoping to move up the timeline a little bit. Retirement in the Philippines, which I think most of us, if you're watching me, you're interested in too. As I said in the intro, cost of living in the Philippines. Can you afford it? This is off of Retirepedia.com. It's a kind of a nice, may have to break this up into several videos. It's a lot of information. I thought it was pretty good, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. So it goes something like this. It's easy to see why the Philippines has become such a popular retirement location for American retirees. It's a beautiful country, warm weather, friendly people, and a relaxed way of life. The perfect location to retire. I agree. However, the main reason why Philippines has seen an influx of American retirees in recent years is its affordability. That's a no-brainer. We all know that. It's possible to enjoy a very comfortable lifestyle in the Philippines for a fraction of the cost of living in the USA. Real estate, clothing, energy costs, transportation, eating out are all much more affordable. And this guide explains how much it costs to retire in the Philippines. Key takeaways: the Philippines has become one of the most popular destinations for U.S. retirees because of its westernized culture, beautiful natural environment, and affordability. The cost of living in the United States is about 2.6 times more expensive than the Philippines. I think it feels like more, but that's what they're saying. Food and clothing are particularly affordable in the Philippines. You will need to spend about $1,000 USD a month to live comfortably in the Philippines as a retiree. Now, I know we hear that figure thrown around a lot. There's a lot of debate about that figure, but I think in this article they're gonna peel the onion for us and talk about all the various costs and whatnot. I would have to say 1,000 is cutting it close. From what I know, as some other vloggers have said, and it's very true, it depends how you live. You know, if you're going to go to the Philippines, and I'm sure if you've heard this before, but it's true. If you're going to go to the Philippines and you're going to bring your Western lifestyle with you, and you're going to have all the food brands you're into and all the foods you like to eat, because you can get a lot of the stuff there that you're used to eating, all your comfort foods, American comfort foods. I was actually surprised. My first trip through a Philippine supermarket, you know, especially the big ones like Robinson's, SM supermarket, you know, I was really surprised how many American brands were readily available. But hey, listen, you know what? They got brands there too that are a fraction of the cost that are the same thing. It's like shopping in your supermarket around here. My wife tells me I'm cheap because I buy all the store brand stuff. But hey, I'm saving money. I don't know. I don't call it cheap. I think it's frugal. But you can bust my chops in the comments if you want. So why move to the Philippines? So a little bit about the Philippines. It's made up of 7,641 islands, and it's located in the South China Sea. Most of the nation's islands are uninhabited, with the majority of the 100 million residents living on the largest islands of Luzon, Negros, Samar, and Palawan. The Philippines is centrally located within Southeast Asia, sharing maritime borders with China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Palau, and Taiwan. This makes it a fantastic retirement destination for anyone interested in exploring Asia and Oceania. And I'm going to agree, man, it's a great spot, because I definitely plan on spending some time in Vietnam, in Thailand. You know, I'd like to hit up Japan, Taiwan. I know I'd like to check out Hong Kong. I know my wife lived there and worked there for years. I'd really like to check it out myself. I don't know if she wants to go back there, but I do. I want to see it. One of the most westernized cultures in any Asian nation, due to the influence of past colonial powers, including Spanish, British, and Americans. The locals enjoy American culture and are friendly towards Westerners, and that's absolutely true. You know, that's, you know, definitely enjoyed the, hey, Joe, you know, that's definitely something cool. But, you know, it's if you're not used to being in a foreign country and you go there, especially after you take that long plane ride, you get off the plane and everybody speaks English and everything is in English. All the signs are in English. So you adapt very quickly. And I think that's part of why people fall in love with the Philippines, if they can endure the long plane ride. Because I tell people all the time, I said, listen, you want a nice vacation? If you don't mind a long plane ride, go to the Philippines when things open up. And I'm talking to just families too, not just necessarily potential retirees or single guys, you know, looking to meet Filipinos. I'm talking to families. I said, bring your family there. Go to Boracay. You know, go to Bohol. I mean, it's beautiful there. And listen, the one thing, too, that I tell people all the time, Filipinos wrote the book on hospitality. I mean, I've never experienced hospitality the way I experienced it in the Philippines. Hands down. The hotels, the restaurants, even the cell phone store. We went to the cell phone store to get, I forgot what we were getting, but like a headphones or something. And, you know, they were greeted by the door. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. You know, I love all that. I was telling friends of mine that are in the hospitality business, I said, if you want to experience and see flawless hospitality, go to the Philippines. So where does the Philippines rank in cost of living index? So we're getting back on topic here. The cost of living index is the simplest way to determine how expensive a location is. It compares the relative cost of living for different countries based on how common consumers' items cost to purchase. Philippines is currently 54th most affordable country to live out of the 138 countries included in the list. The Philippines slightly cheaper than countries like Bulgaria, South Africa, Poland, and China. It is slightly more expensive than countries like Malaysia, Ghana, Albania, Serbia, Romania, and Vietnam. The United States is the 112th most affordable nation on the list, with a cost of living index of 71.92. This makes the United States about 2.6 times more expensive than the Philippines. And again, I think that's more. You know, but they're, you know, I'm just sharing this article with you, so you can disagree or comment. Love the comments, so keep them coming. The Economist's Big Mac Index, who knew, is another useful comparison for assessing cost of living differences. It compares the cost of buying a Big Mac in different countries to determine purchasing power parity, PPP. You can buy a Big Mac for 142 pesos in the Philippines and $5.66 in the United States. The difference between the implied exchange rate and the cash money exchange rate means the Philippines peso is 47.8% undervalued. So, yeah, that's, you know, definitely, I will say this. I was thinking about this while I was reading the article. Last time I was in the Philippines in 2019, you know, I'd change over some cash, and, you know, the hotel was paid for, all that stuff. So we were basically just using the cash for transportation and food. And, you know, the hotel had a very generous breakfast buffet, and I'll give them a shout out if you're in Iloilo. Excellent hotel, Grand Jing Hotel. Very generous breakfast buffet, but you got to get up early. They close it at 9 a.m. sharp, promptly. But, if, you know, you fill up then, you could skip lunch because it was a big breakfast. But a lot of times we'd sleeping and we'd miss it. And so, $100 US, it was lasting us about a week. Just for meals and transportation. Yeah, if we took some family out or we did something like that, maybe we'd get into a little more, but on the average, plus or minus a little more, it's 7 days. It's not bad. So let's look at while we're on the topic of food, let's talk about the Filipino cuisine a little bit. Filipino cuisine is diverse, interesting, and delicious, as anybody knows that enjoys Filipino food. The different ethno-linguistic groups on the many islands have their own culinary traditions, which makes an exciting country for foodies to explore. Listen, Filipino food is off the hook. Between you and me, I'm fine going there and eating Filipino food all the time. If you watch my other video, don't eat like a Filipino. That's all you got to do is just try to moderation, because some of that stuff, like, man, I'm a sticky rice fool. And I know my Filipino friends out there are going to hear that and laugh, but I love my sticky rice, man. Oh, it's so good, man. And it's definitely, you can't eat a lot of that stuff because it's, carb city. If you prefer to cook, you'll be happy to discover that most fruits, vegetables, canned goods, meat, fish, and other items are very affordable. Yes. It's easy to access types of food that you might normally enjoy in America, as there are Western restaurants, most towns and cities. So if you've never been to the Philippines, you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go there, because you'll see McDonald's, you'll see Burger King. It was the strangest thing I eaten in the Burger King when we were there in Iloilo. It's the SM City Mall. They got the Burger King there. It was kind of cool. It's my wife loves Burger King, so we hit up the Burger King there. It was kind of cool because the last time we went before that, in 2016, I didn't see the Burger King there, so it was definitely added after that. So let's look at the cost of some of the restaurants in the Philippines. They're saying a simple meal at an inexpensive restaurant is 150 pesos, $3.10 US. So, yeah, that's kind of true. A 3-course meal, mid-range restaurant for 2 people, 1,000 pesos, which is around $21. I always tell people, when you're learning the money, 1,000 peso bill, it's like a $20 bill. That's it. 500 pesos is like $10. And 250 pesos, like a $5 bill. So that's kind of like and it fluctuates, of course, but you're pretty much in that neighborhood if you stick to that. I adapted very quickly my first time to the money. It was very easy. McDonald's combo meal, 150 pesos is $3.10 US. And they're like 5 and change here in the US. Depending on if you supersize it or not, I guess. Cost of groceries in the Philippines. Milk, regular, 1 liter, 86 pesos, $1.80. A loaf of white bread, 58 pesos, $1.20. Listen, a loaf of white bread here in the U.S. is $5 for a decent loaf of bread. So you tell me, people say, oh, why do you want to retire in the Philippines? It's a no-brainer, man. I don't know why people still ask me that. It's really like a no-brainer. Dozen eggs, 88 pesos, $1.80. I'm getting 2 dozen eggs right now for about $5, but it's a store brand. Again, cheapo Mike. I buy the store brand. I order the groceries. We get the home delivery groceries. At least I spring for that. So I think I'm going to stop there for today. I'm going to pick this up in the next video. We'll talk about some of the transportation costs and some of the other costs involved with living in the Philippines. If you like the video, please give it a like. The channel's still new. You guys are awesome. A big thank you to everybody. Get a lot of subscribers for a short time. Had no idea that we were going to do as good as we're doing, and thank you to all of you. And I'm going to try to keep getting better at this, making the videos a little bit more high quality. And the big payoff is going to be when we take you guys with us to the Philippines. So we're hoping we're hoping, hope 2022. We were talking about gear and stuff like that we're going to need. So we're definitely thinking that way, and we're getting ready. So again, thank you guys all for sticking with us and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And please share the channel with others that you think they might enjoy it. And greatly appreciate it. As we always like to say, wherever you are in the world, stay well, stay safe, stay blessed. And we'll be back with the next edition of Cost of Living. The Philippines, can you afford it? Thanks for stopping by, and thank you for watching.